Don't eat the cashier. We are recording, and we're going to go with he, him. Your pronouns are he, him. Choose your body type. Yo. Well, let's go with type 1. The short hair and stuff. Yeah, body type 1. What's your name? Rekutsko. Next. Your name is Rekutsko. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of a career as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station? On the other hand, money is money. I sent out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. 0 responses. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Oh, I found this note stuck to the glass of a bus stop. Bleh, a bus stop. Human organism wanted for work. Gas station. Organism's duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience, household tasks, obeying those who are more ancient, friendly team offers, new and old faces of friends, long and different life, consumption and nourishment, juicy juices, trips to human places. I'm so what? Food for mouth. Seriously? Guy's got a style of his own. Apparently the manager is just an eccentric dude. Or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? Whatever. People often told me that I have my quirks too, and that's even if they haven't seen my fursuit. Oh, cool! I got a fursuit. Well, whatever. As long as he's not a complete jerk who will hit on me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. Bitch, it's an eldritch horror. I didn't scream. I couldn't move. My brain feverishly tried to find any category for this in its database. Hallucination? Typical middle manager? Oh my god. The monster from my nightmares stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. My god. The creature made a sound. Not from a mouth. It had none. The sound emanated from deep within its bulk. Hollow, profound, bone-shaking. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indescribable and terrifying consumer of worlds, but you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. No. No. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. You will sell food for a mouse and obey me, for I am ancient. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patience is as limited as the salary I offer you. What the fuck? Rule number 1. You sell, no matter what, chicken food for the mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from cursed souls, lottery tickets for extra limb raffles, discount rot, ritual foil. Everything must be sold, including your soul. He points directly at me with that creepy, slimy tentacle. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. I pinched myself, but I didn't wake up. Rule number 2, be polite to customers. Ignore bald spots in werewolf fur and watch out for giraffes when ectoplasmic energetic entities are in the store. I just realized that there's no freaking sound. I'm so glad that I just realized that. I'm so sorry. Hold on. There we go. Okay. It was just music. It's just been music so far. It's totally fine. I'm not worried about it. What? But don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. Payment is existential dread or hair of the dead is not accepted. Many of them come here just to chat because they are idle with purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency anyway. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. Excuse me, dear sir, you seem to have mentioned werewolves and ectoplasm. My voice is as polite as possible. I managed to compress my primal screaming panic into a tight ball and shove it deep down. Werewolves? And that's not to mention that you yourself are a giant meatball with tentacles, damn you. I shall answer your question, curious, polite organism. Werewolves and ectoplasmic entities are just a few examples of the many insignificant life forms that frequent this establishment. What unites them is that they are all slaves to consumption, just like your kind. As for my nature, I am your immediate supervisor and the guarantor of your future financial prosperity. I'm at a gas station for monsters. I got a job with Cthulhu for minimum wage. This is all you need to know. No, only I decide what I need to know. That really is all that I need to know. I fear any more knowledge will surely drive me insane. Yeah, sure. For the first time, something resembling approval flickered across Bob's many-eyed face. A rare and unexpected display of the grains of wisdom that have not yet left the human species. Embrace your ignorance. Let it become your shield and direct path to the status of Human Employee of the Month. Do I have to work here for a full month? And what does they get? A cash bonus of 25 cents. I understand that you, human, are already extremely excited about this, but that's not all. You will also have access to the elite manager's restroom for one full work cycle. During its use, there is only a 7% chance that you will be transported to a dimension of endless pain, suffering, and unimaginable torment. Truly generous. He suddenly places a jar in front of me on the counter. And last rule, remember, organism, this tip container must be filled with money by the end of your wake cycle. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary restrooms with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. I couldn't take my eyes off the fork, the potential tool of my eternal servitude. At this moment, my mind is fully capitulated. Ah, yes. I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic architect squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I'm being threatened with a fork and eternal toilet cleaning. How can anyone clean anything with a fork? The same will happen if you even think of escaping before the end of your work contract. My ocular sensorism perceives the subtlest of matters. It will detect you in any corner of this pitiful planetary sphere. Crap, I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. I am a trap. Do you understand, organism? No, yes, sir. Acceptable. Goodbye, organism. Good luck with your currency acquisition and button pressing. Yes, I think I can handle this perfectly. Adequate. Your willingness to fulfill your work duties deserves my emotional approval. Human entity, you are acceptable. If you expect a monetary reward instead of an emotional one, you need to immediately reconsider your moral compass. Greed is a highly condemned trait for a Hugan organism. A Hugan. This concludes the briefing. Remain as polite an organism as you are. He didn't turn around as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted the entire mass in another direction with soft gurgling sound, and he waddled away across the linoleum. Finally, he left me alone. The silence at the gas station was broken not only by the hum of the refrigerators containing juicy juices and the buzzing of the neon lamp above my head. I stood in the same spot, as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in sharp, uneven gasps. My hands were shaking. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horrors, still stood proudly on the counter. Okay, so what just happened? Option 1. I've gone insane. That's the most logical conclusion. Prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, and disrupted sleep schedule, and my brain is just malfunction. Yes, that's it. I'm gonna wake up on my couch in my dingy or dingy rented apartment. I pinch myself again, and nothing. I scanned the room once more, and it smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real. And that meant everything he said. It was all true. Werewolves, vampires, tips, the fork. A hysterical mix of laughter and a scream of terror welled up in my throat, but I held it back. I needed to get through this. I need to. Oh. Oh no. Don't tell me that's the first customer. Bells? What the hell? Sir, excuse with me and yourself. Are you high? Your eyes are red. Where the hell did this clown come from? Took great effort not to look away from those red eyes burning in the pitch black darkness. Is he amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give any guarantees that I wouldn't get devoured at work. My brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. This is really loud in my ears, by the way. You can't just appear with the sound of a creepy piano, sir. Isn't it strange that I work at a gas station for a couple of bucks, yet you're the one who wears the jester hat? Good evening, sir. What would you like to purchase? Please don't eat me. I'm just a miserable, tasteless cashier. Good evening, sir. What would you like to purchase? Purchase? I would like to purchase your attention. Oh. Suppose it's free, but only for you, sir. Ooh. You're lucky, esteemed sir. My attention is on sale today. I'm not sure what's on the sales list. However, there's plenty of other things. What would you like to purchase? For me? Only for me? You spoil me. To receive such an exclusive treasure released in a limited edition. I feel like a king. Although, am I not already a king? No matter. I've never felt more regal than I do now. Well, I accept this generous offer, but a deal requires balance, doesn't it? In exchange for your attention, you shall receive mine. Hooray? My god, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. He's kind of cute. And it seems he's in the mood for a chat. So, what is a beautiful, handsome gentleman like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a handsome gentleman as you? Oh, wait, where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely gentleman. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King. A title I plan to pass from me to myself for the coming centuries. However, my mortal mother named me Deeren. Now, may I have your hand? Or any other part to me, sir? Oh, your highness. Offer him your hand. Sure. He suddenly bows his head and presses his lips. Oh. Stop it. Meeting you is truly a pleasure. His lips are cold, yet a ghostly warmth spreads across my skin. So here I am, dealing with a real gentleman. How lovely. Or a king, as he calls himself. Of all the kings and emperors locked in their soft chambers, this one has probably found a way to escape. May I know your name? I don't immediately realize he's asking me a question still in a daze from that gentlemanly kiss. My name is Rekutsko. I am also a king, the king of the gas station. Demons always do horrible things. My name is Rekutsko, but my friends call me Big D. Or they would if I had any. Shut the fuck up. I don't know which one to choose. Ooh. Should I go with that? I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save real quick, because I'm afraid if I do this one, he's gonna immediately destroy me. The king, your majesty. Forgive my outrageous ignorance. I did not recognize the sovereign of this noble kingdom of oil and discounted juicy drinks. I humbly bow before you, your majesty, of the midnight shift. Sorry I didn't send envoys ahead. You have to be escorted out of the kingdom. Grant you my royal pardon. I wish to vassalize you about our selection. I don't know. A pardon from the lips of the king himself. How my wounded soul rejoices. I am redeemed, reborn in the light of your mercy. The act of mercy will be sung by the poets of my realm, those who can still rhyme, rather than just wallow in alcoholic oblivion. You know, my company has an especially interesting effect on the artistic types, as I've discovered. Nothing surprising there. Seems I've gone mad myself. Or halfway there. Maybe it happened around the same time I decided to become an artist. I am indeed exchanging silly jokes with some mysterious toothy entities, if it's nothing. An entity that kisses my hand. Maybe I just adapted this new profession really quickly. Or perhaps I had a stash of nerves of steel in a bag. I can't shake the feeling, though, that this clown is about to explode himself or blow me up. I feel like my brain is turning to jelly. I don't understand when we'll finally get to the point. Actually, it's not all that bad. Maybe I've just been spoiled by all those mangas about sinister and tragic monsters. No, the only tragic thing about this client so far is his tragic unwillingness to buy my discount rot. So, let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Finally. It's completely unknown to me. Oh, for crying out loud. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shop except for you, so I'm buying your time. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for... No frickin' way. No, he's not going to... Aha. I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half of my gas station to a radioactive dump. Or a radioactive dump to my gas station. And the jar is gone. My frickin' jar. Put it back the way it was, in the jar. But it seems to smell less now. What a wonderful place for dinner. Radioactive cockroaches on the menu. Of course, a local delicacy. Pan-fried in their own radioactive juices to preserve the flavor. Crispy on the outside, still alive on the inside. They grant you the most thrilling superpowers. However, I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands made me melancholic because of all the fun that happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. Feels like I've been flushed twice through an interdimensional toilet. I clear my throat. Seems like I'm sitting at a table. Much better, wouldn't you agree? Couldn't be better. It's beautiful here, and strange. Is this your home? Ah, words of a true poet, Rekutsko. My two favorite categories, strange and beautiful. This place is much more than a... Oh, hello, phone. Shut up. This place is much more than a home. It's my cage and my greatest canvas for creativity. Every ugly tree, every mad toad, every eye-bearing mushroom. It's all a piece of me. A marvelous place. Except when the rocks grow legs and start running. Including those that people make their homes out of. And now you're part of this place too. Isn't it wonderful? I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming. But I need to be better without that frog with a human face. I didn't even notice until now. The frog notices me too. lets out a sad croak, and then looks at me with an expression of deep existential despair. Who is that? Who is that? That's Lore, one of the brave souls who dared challenge my authority, my dear friend, who once walked the path of adventure. However, he didn't foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. He tried to wield a sword with his tiny froggy legs, fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and bigger frogs. Tell me, dear, does he bother you? His little existential froggy crisis, I mean. Is it ruining the ambiance? He looks at me with an interested expression. I don't want to make that decision, though. What exactly did Lore do? Yes, please disintegrate him. You remove him gently, he's stubborn enough. I don't mind Lore. No, I want him to watch. I don't mind him. You don't mind? Excellent! I think he's really set on the tone for the whole clearing, aesthetically. A living monument of the consequences of poor life choices. Lore, did you hear that? The Lord grants you a stay of execution. You may continue your pitiful mosquito-infested existence. So, dinner. I'm sure you must be starving. Traveling between realities must be exhausting. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? And next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made from the less fortunate cashier. Whether the food is poisoned or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too, so I pick up the fork from a table. And this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It's 100 times better than those cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. Seems you enjoy our cuisine. My chefs have always managed to cook well, on those occasions when I noticed it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner. At least not for the first half hour after the meal. You're doing all this, the dinner, the teleport. Thank you for the food on my plate, not staring. Oh, well, I don't know. Yes, thank you. You are very kind. I'm gonna save again, because I'm gonna go with this one. The best purple goo in my miserable life is a miserable cashier. Because I feel like he would definitely go for that. Purple goo. Ha! I'll have to tell the head chef you called it that. He calls it broth of vicious stars and deceit. But I think your description is more honest. And don't be too quick to call your life miserable. Until now it was just a prologue, but now the first act begins. I poke at the food with my fork and watch the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy, were I under heavy narcotics. Don't ask silly questions. Return to eating. I don't know. I want him to like me. Jeez. What's your favorite animal? Glad you asked. It's right here on our plate. Just kidding, but I do need some time to think. Let's see. The riding flea has its own charms, very disgusting ones. Carnivorous butterflies are beautiful, but they're dumb and noisy. And as we know, only what's empty inside makes a noise. Or what's in my head, it's always ringing. I think it's a dog. It loves its owner with all its heart, whether they're a saint or a serial killer, and doesn't notice a difference. It lives in a constant joyful state of blissful ignorance and misplaced enthusiasm. A creature that finds endless joy in the utterly meaningless. It's truly inspiring. Dogs are the jesters of the animal world, and I adore them for it. Especially the small, wrinkly ones. And what about you? Cats. To them, we're probably the jesters. Oh, indeed. There are true rulers of our reality, tiny furry gods of apathy and disdain, and we are their obedient, foolish caretakers. But I've been lucky enough to escape their tyranny and instead enjoy my own, and feed those around me. I return to my meal, and just as I chew another bite, I hear His Highness's voice. By the way, how does the meat taste? is a human fun. Ha. My fork freezes halfway. Yes, thank you, cried Tender. Stacy is the one I had before yesterday. You're the law here. What would he do if I vomited? I don't know. I think we're going to go quite tender. And while most gentlemen would faint or have a fate, you mind your manners. Charming. But don't worry, my little polite marble statue. It's just venison. As far as I can tell by taste, not very intelligent. It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in it. Definitely not. I've personally issued several decrees that related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its prohibition, but that's besides the point. I rarely have visitors, and I'd like to tell you about the other interesting guests. After all, it's the most fascinating thing that I can share with you. For a place where mushroom with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. They detach from the gnarled trees, rising up from the ground like black ink and spread across the wall. Dancing and intertwining, they prepare to perform on their master's whim. Behold this incredibly crooked tassel, my dear. Crooked to the point of absurdity, sadly. In reality, its curves look far more aesthetic. But give the creator some leeway for expressiveness. Many brave and not-so-bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, and crooked castle. So many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never likes being distracted from its important duties. Whoa, terribly important duties, like having long, deep conversations with its own reflection, or concocting recipes with raisins. Why raisins? So far the scariest thing in his presence is raisins. Listen silently. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. He made some people believe they were pigeons and others were grains. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon and both suns would get envious and want to take them away. And he demanded they seal the gaps in the doors as well. He locked wizards who came to him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented a kettle that could boil everything except water. Who won, the pigeons or the grains? My lovely lord, it wasn't a war, but rather a true paranoid masterpiece. A ballet of survival. For a glorious week, my ballroom was a stage for a feathered, cooing apocalypse. Pigeons flocked in huge, proud groups, occupying high places on the chandeliers and bookshelves. Grains learned to hide under the rugs, pretend to be lifeless, and attack only when the pigeons turned away. They were alliances, betrayal, and a seed that fell in love with the pigeon. Nothing topped the story of that year, nor was anything worse, but I digress. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom of the first hero, Sir Lore, of the righteous, in all his clanging self-important glory. He took a knee and the rest briefly because of the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's loyal subjects to... By the way, where did he even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the color of suspenders for their suspenders or lamenting their fate. I cherish them in their imperfection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most restless of them. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descended into the Grotto of Despair. The Grotto of Tentacles? Imagine the most sinister name that you can conjure. Grotto of Despair sounds about right. The Grotto of my parents' disappointment in me. Grotto of Kidney Stones. Yeah, indeed. It's a place where one can so wonderfully despair. Let's not get sidetracked. Into the Grotto of Despair, our hero descended to retrieve an artifact capable of defeating the Monster King. Why is there a smiley face on it? There's a smiley face on it. The Ring of Incredible Power. A bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you it looks more aesthetic in real life. However, the brave knight did not know that this incredible power of the ring lay in its 440 pounds weight. That was his only magical property. The only incredible thing about this ring was its incredible stupidity and uselessness. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy paperweight, and the sudden crushing thought that he should have become a baker instead of a hero just to get some sleep. Well, it broke his poor noble mind. Not that his mind was ever intended for serious burdens. No, the knight. Yes, to hell with you, knight. Not immediately. Wait for him to continue. So the knight perished. But then, along came Elmer Eagle Eye. They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that the prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. An archer of the legendary skill who tried to kill me with a precise shot, constantly. During breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devising a plan to get rid of him. The audacity. I hate just killing them. Turning them into madmen is so much more fun. And I bestowed a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves, so naturally, the melody became a national anthem of the dwarves, played in loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was a villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. Now he's my royal huntsman. The dwarf march is replaced by a lively elven she-shanty. She shall down by seashore. And let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guarantee of non-dismemberment. He missed the opportunity to change his dwarf national anthem to dwarf serenades. A happy ending, right? For me, absolutely. I've never had such a good hunter in my life. I never quite figured out where he gets all those species of animals, but no matter. And finally, the witch, in a classic giant hat, under which we could easily fit another witch. She tried a different approach, seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse. A fatal miscalculation. For I am the gay. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats, or people, especially with both come hand in hand. And those who wear suspenders with a belt at the same time, a person who doesn't even trust her own pants certainly doesn't even earn the trust of His Highness. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays, but back to hats. I hate big hats too. You're my kindred spirit. Those hats are so pretentious, so self-assured. They block the view, get stuck in doorways, and always hint at the wearer is compensating for something. Like big wheels on a truck. Usually a lack of a magical talent, or a pitiful personality. And that's on a good day. You, my dear Rekutsko, have impeccable taste in headwear and consequently in everything else. It's a scientifically proven fact. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intention, jingling with all her concealed weapons. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon. And you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written. So, I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Rekutsko. What punishment befits her? What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? It doesn't matter what I choose, everything here follows his whims anyway. But as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him. Damn, what should I do? Turn her into a hat, a small one. Save. Oh, the one who lived by a big hat shall become a small hat. The irony is so absurd it's beautiful. So be it. Let it be a small cap of eternal regret. Look at that little face. She tried to get into my head and now she can barely cover it. A brilliant sentence. Something's missing from this tale. You never told me about the monster itself. Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? I do. If the monster is the muck, then I'm the pig, you see. How eloquent. Alright, I must admit, this will be my first performance like this. Darian sounds a bit bewildered, it seems. Well, let me just toss my mind up and see how it lands. You see, the monster was really a more modest and less majestic. But we'll have to start somewhere, right? Then, my head suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers, then arguments, then full-fledged discussions that to be participated in, and involved inanimate objects. Guests in ajar doors, closets, even in cookie jars. Every container a potential foe, and I was surrounded by containers. To be fair, sometimes they told funny stories. Ah, but why was I so afflicted with this curse? Pondering it drives me mad, even more so. It seems to be a question that is meant for me. Did you touch a cursed artifact? Maybe some ring of yours. Does your family have anything in common with the Habsburgs? Ha! My gentleman, that's so mundane. But that's exactly what happened, you've guessed it. It's all about rotten blood, too pure, I beg your pardon. My great-grandfather issued a decree forbidding death from an old age, and my distant aunt believed a colony of sentient mold was living in her walls, claiming her inheritance. But I always thought that I would be spared this fate. I had to be temporarily isolated to avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls, with the young prince pointing at noble lords and saying, "Ha ha, the gnomes, they finally got you from under my foot." What a misfortune for the entire family, except for those in line for the throne before me. My death would have been solved by many problems for my family, and indeed many of my own problems too. I made a decision. We made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. However, Chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic clerical error. I didn't know. Something ancient and terribly bored found itself a new source of entertainment. It offered me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions or pence for my subjects, if I wished. My subjects at first, they disagreed, but then they came to terms, or their minds changed to fit the new realities. And here I am. A dramatic silence ensues. Perhaps I'm the first being to hear this story in the centuries of I must choose my next words carefully. And only multiple personalities. So you're still in a cage. It must be rather lonely here. And here I am. Okay. Let's see. Must be rather lonely. No cages. Like a playground with surprisingly silent infants. But I don't blame them. I have the best shovel, so no wonder I embarrass them so much. Or maybe it's because I love to create explosions. Tell me, have you ever been exploded? Or no, don't tell me. That'd be a surprise. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into this dimension to tell you silly stories and feed you purple glue? People never cease to amaze me. Not meaningfully. The shadows finally dissolved into nothingness. I just turned a living being into a hat, or rather became the catalyst for it. I wonder what kind of nightmares are warranted on such a case. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back. I rise from the chair. I squeeze my eyes shut. The light is blinding, even with my eyes closed. So unusual after all this darkness. The jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Greetings, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction was successful. Acceptable. That still doesn't save you from the dread of cleaning sanitary facilities, but it's a wonderful starting point for your entire tiny life. Our first client sent me in a dimension and nearly turned me into a cash register. Work is going well, sir. Excellent. Maintain this level of productivity. You may be rewarded with an additional 5-minute feeding break for you if you can find food. Rejoice in my generosity. Continue working. I am experiencing a positive emotional reaction. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. Your tactic of adjusting care for your organism is clearly playing off. Goodbye, Mr. Manager. My mind departs from you and the organic form follows. He slaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob's rhythmic wet slaps away, a deep silence descends on the station. One moment I'm in a surreal forest, dining in our purple goo with Mad God. The next moment I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacle monster. Maybe these are all just my deathbed hallucination. I can't fucking say that word. God, give me back my bills, my noodles, my arguments with strangers on the internet. Some part of me enjoys these mad adventures. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my contemplation, terrifying sound emanates from my boss's office. Unfair bills. Unacceptably large numbers. Of course, what else could upset him so much if not that? Steps. Another visitor. This one decided to come through the door for a change. And that is where we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I really, really appreciate it. This has gone on way too long. I'm gonna do another part, and I'll save this for a 1 week thing, where it comes out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I believe is what I'm probably gonna end up doing. So, again, thank you guys so much for joining in. I hope you are enjoying this as I am, and we will get down to it and more characters in the next one. Peace out.